Love is our true divine nature, and our heart serves as the intersection of the spiritual and physical, connecting our soul with our body as the conduit for anchoring our divinity onto the earth plane. Embodying our divinity is the key to our ascension and to manifesting our highest destiny in this life. The teachings of the heart are alchemy. Join spiritual mentor and channel Jennifer Spohr each week on a sacred journey to lift the veil to remembering your divinity and meet other beautiful souls who are living the path of the awakened heart. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. It is my pleasure and joy to welcome as a guest today Judith Costa, and she is an unconditional love coach, self-love expert, seminar leader, writer, and speaker with a master's degree in analytical psychology and psychotherapy and an MBA. She is also a certified Akashic Records consultant and teacher, a Reiki master, and a certified happiness trainer. With a deep passion for personal transformation, Judith is dedicated to helping individuals break through their inner blocks to love and create a deeper, more fulfilling relationship with themselves. Welcome, Judith. It's really wonderful to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here with you, Jennifer.
Yes, I'm excited for our conversation. Cultivating self-love is definitely a topic for all of us, right? Like even if, I mean, in my experience, not, with clients, but also on my own journey, I find that our journey to deeper embodied love is an evolution.
Totally agree. Well, since I was young, I started having problems in my life, all kinds of problems, physical, emotional, psychological. But what I didn't know is that the root cause of all of these things was that I didn't have any idea what self-love was. Nobody teach us this in the school unless you have very conscious parents. They also don't know how to share these ideas with you. And I had to learn. I mean, the long way, we'll say. There was no workshops when I was living in Spain at that time, like mine, no, like fall in love with yourself and where people get tools. It's sometimes people end up being in therapy or get treated for mental illnesses. But as you say, self-love is a journey. It's not a destination. It's what you will do for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I'd love to get into what led you to this path, but before we proceed there, I'd love for you to share with us what are some of the more common, I want to say like inversions or misconceptions that you come across in regard to how one would define love or their relationship to love.
How much time do we
I
have?
know. It's a big topic. That's why I said some of the more common
Yeah, no,
misconceptions, because
it's
I know we can all relate to these.
Oh, it's so big, as you say. And let me tell you, the funny story is that I end up teaching self-love, not only because I didn't know how to love myself, but also because the beginning of my career, when I moved to the United States, the first thing that I did was to help people find their soulmates, because that was transform my life. And very soon I realized that the reason why many people cannot find true love is because they don't love themselves. Because we have an idea that love equals self-sacrifice. I work with a lot of healers, and you know what happens, you are also one, that we tend to have this idea of saving others, helping others, putting others first. Not only healers, like everyone, as a woman, like your children go first, your family go first. It's set in education, cultural values, religion, everywhere. Then we tend to abandon ourselves in spite of like something bigger that is called family or community or a job or whatever it is. Then in the long term this has consequences and you will pay the toll sooner or later. It doesn't matter how hard you try to put others first. There is a moment where your soul is going to say, hello, we have a problem here. And you will have different symptoms. For some people are difficulties in their relationships, for others are like illnesses, for others are unfulfillment. But love is a complicated concept because we tend to live all our lives with the idea of love that we have learned when we were kids. And after working with so many people, I have seen all sorts of stories, not only of dysfunctional families or my parents were alcoholics, but just normal families where people say, "Oh yeah, I love my parents love me," but we start like going deeper and deeper. And there were disappointments and frustration and a lack of love and abandonment. Doesn't matter sometimes how much the parents love a kid. If the kid cannot understand that love is something that you already are, that it's not conditional, that you have already all love you need within yourself. And
Mhm.
sometimes we arrive to Earth with the idea of learning this, exactly this. And no matter how much love someone can give you, if you don't feel it, if you don't connect with the love that you already have, if you don't connect with the idea that you are divine and you have this divine love by it's your birthright, then you will never feel love or worthy because you will always be fighting or comparing yourself with others or trying to like find something external that make you feel worthy when you are worthy just because you exist.
Absolutely. And yeah, I find that, in moving from, because, what we're saying right now and talking about, listeners, some of the listeners may be, thinking to themselves, well, I already know that. But the thing is moving is shifting that paradigm from intellectual understanding to really learning how to embody that. And I strongly believe and feel and practice and teach, right? That in order to make that shift, we need to really establish a depth of devotion to how our day-to-day living, moment to moment living aligns with that, right? Aligns with becoming
Totally,
embodied in that.
totally true, because imagine that I was teaching self-love when I was diagnosed with cancer. And I thought, as you say, that intellectually I knew and I was practicing it.
Mhm.
But I had to take it to the next level. Because when you see that your life is in risk, there are many things that don't matter anymore. Then one of and this is difficult to say because I know that there are people suffering for this, but I'm going to say it anyway because that's my experience. One of the best moments of my life were when I had cancer. It was not an aggressive cancer because I put myself first, really, completely. And doesn't mean that you abandon others. It means that you take care of yourself no matter what, in a way that change your physical state, your energy, your creativity, your relationships, your level of abundance, everything. When you put that into place, but as you say, you feel it in here, it's embodied, then everything gets resolved. And then you don't have problems anymore because you live from a different space. But we have to start slowly, slowly but surely. You cannot say, "Oh, I'm going to love myself, and tomorrow I'm going to be forgiving myself and not judging myself." And like, because the list is so long that you will get overwhelmed. Then think, what can you do tomorrow differently that will add a little bit more for yourself? Just one thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really glad that you brought up the feeling of overwhelm, right? Because it's so true. We can really get kind of like stuck in our head and then as a result, overstimulated, right? Around like all of the things that we think we need to do. Because again, another, very deeply embedded societal program is that we have to do in order to receive, right? So it's really just taking those baby steps like every day, what can I do now? Or even looking at, what are the top 5 things and then feeling into, well, what's the one most important thing out of all of those things to me? And then starting with that one. I mean, you have to start somewhere. And then when you really start to develop an embodiment of that, I think you referenced this a little bit ago, there are a lot of things that just naturally unfold on their own organically, that start to fall into place.
Yeah, there are two moments during the day that are especially important. And it's not that you don't have to do this 24 hours. You have to love yourself all the day, no matter what. There is no excuse for that. But there are two key moments. One is when you get up, and the other one is when you close the day and you go to sleep. Because the way you set up the day, with what spirit you get up thinking, this is my life, I love myself, this is going to be a wonderful day. And you set this intention and keep your inner peace and go through life with this mindset, even though maybe 3 hours later there is a bomb in your life and everything explodes. But
Yeah.
if you have this intention, it matters. It changes things. Then just a moment of peace, breathing, doing like a 2 minute meditation. You don't have to wake up 1 hour earlier, but think about how you are gonna be there for yourself. Loving yourself is becoming your best friend.
Hmm.
Something as simple as that. How are you gonna be your best friend today? And
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, you can do inventory, like what had happened today. Not in terms of, oh, I fail, oh, look at me, oh, I'm a disaster, my life. No, just the opposite. What wins, what celebrations, what baby steps you took, what things went well, what are you grateful for? And then put everything that had happened in the day that you don't want, you don't like, and send it to the universe like in a spaceship. Let it go. And go to sleep with the sensation that I'm a new person, tomorrow is a new day. I'm going to have a restful, peaceful night of sleep. And every breath you take is an opportunity to start anew. Use it.
Yes.
And start
Telling
loving
yourself,
yourself.
telling yourself, feeling that in your breath and feeling that in your body, right? Even if it's feeling yourself in the warm bed, just feeling the sheets on your skin, just feeling the peace, of that moment.
Yeah, it's taking time to be with yourself. You cannot love someone that you don't know. And a lot of us, we are just like strangers. We have forgotten what we like, for what reason are we alive. We are not really connected with ourselves anymore. We
Mhm.
just go on autopilot. We get up, we take the kids to the school, we go to work, we do pay the bills, this, that, like obligations, but you are not a human doing, as you said. You are a human being.
Mhm. Yeah. Something that's coming forward, I would love to get your feelings and thoughts around is, um, we're conditioned, many of us are conditioned to believe that we can control outcomes, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
so many people, yeah, I've done it. We've all done it, right? I mean, it's a journey. Uh, But many people will make the decision to sacrifice themselves, their own well-being, their love for themselves in order to hold on to the illusion that that's what will enable them to hold on to a relationship, or that's what will enable them to hold on to a job, or whatever else it is that someone might be trying to control. What are your thoughts and feelings on supporting someone in dissolving that, right? Like learning how to establish non-negotiable boundaries, so to speak.
Yeah, I went through that. Then I'll say what worked for me, and
Mhm.
hopefully it will resonate with others. I am very analytical. I hadn't had any idea that what my mind was my worst enemy because I try to think about things. And when we try to control life, we try to kind of plan scenarios and how things are going to evolve, and we analyze conversations and we kind of make our own assumptions. But life doesn't work this way. Life has to be lived in the present, not in a potential future that may not even happen. Then usually our need for control is our need to feel love, because in my case it was attached to a need for perfection. Then if I'm perfect and I have everything under control,
Mhm.
everyone will love me. But then what happens is that you stop loving yourself, because as you say, doing that has a cost. And the only way, in my opinion, that this can be dismantled slowly, is by the understanding that life doesn't need to be controlled, because it's not a problem to solve. Not
Mhm.
a problem to solve. It's an experience, it's an adventure. In order to connect with this idea, you have to start developing skills and try not to live from a mind perspective, like everything is controlled by the mind, and more enjoying in the present moment, more feeling, more connection, more looking around, more understanding that you are part of the universe, that you are a spark of the divine, that you are not confident because you have everything figured out. You will never be confident this way because life is going to demonstrate you again and again and again that, sorry, but no.
Hmm.
You're confident because you know that there is a universe that has your back, that there is a moment where you feel safe. And no matter what is going to happen, you are going to receive the resources, the help, the whatever you need to overcome it.
Hmm.
Let me give you an example. It's a very silly example, but it's very, very visual. I went on a vacation from Miami to St. Petersburg, Florida, and I just bought an electric car that doesn't have a lot of autonomy. Then I didn't know that when you cross from coast to coast through the Everglades, there is no charging, not even a gas station. Then in the middle of that, I was stuck in Naples. I didn't have battery. I didn't know how my car works because it's not a Tesla, it's an EV. Then it was a whole thing. I could have been very frustrated, angry with myself for not planning better, saying that there was no excuse to put myself in that situation. I was late to my appointment and to what I wanted to do. And instead, I make a choice. I made a choice that evening. After I tried to resolve and I saw that there was no way because everything was a no, no, no. But I look at the situation from a different perspective. There were people that took me in their cars and helped me, people that gave me information, people that even while I was charging fed me and say, but sit at our bar and take a glass or whatever, a coffee, whatever you want. Everybody was so kind that I felt really, really, really safe. I didn't have any control. It was a disaster. Even the rental car closed. Then I had to go to the airport and do that. But again, even the Uber guy gave me a hug.
Aw, that's great.
Then when you embody love, loving people come also into your life.
Yeah,
And you don't have to control anything because you just send it and the universe takes care of it. At the end, I was able to rent a car and to arrive to my destination, not as I wanted initially, but
nice.
nothing bad happened. It was just an experience that I really learned what to do and what not to do with a new electric car.
Yeah. What a story and a great reminder too, right?
Yeah, then you want to love yourself, it's gonna be great to
Hmm.
transform the rest of your life, but especially the relationships that you have with people around you. And seriously, the need for control is something that you can train yourself to make it disappear. It's not going to happen in one day. But if I can do it, you can do it as well.
As a fellow teacher of the Akashic Records, I would love to hear from you. How has being connected with your records contributed to your overall ascension journey and cultivating that deep embodied love for yourself and for others?
Completely, totally. I'm so grateful that as my job, I have the opportunity to witness these messages that clients receive when I teach classes, also how people grow and transform. But in my private life, I don't think that I could have gone through a divorce, cancer, then I had a car accident, then I had financial problems. Now I have, well, all my things were damaged in a storage. My house is full of mold and I'm full of mold. Then there are a lot of things that happen in one's life. But knowing that I have this field of information that we call Akashic Records, but they are emissaries of the divine, pure unconditional love, at my service whenever I want, 24 hours, 365 days per year. That when I am like in need of guidance, I can go to them, and it doesn't matter if I need to select a lawyer or to think about treatment for mold or to ask I'm gonna die from cancer. Then they answer any question you may have, and they will support you and guide you through the process. Then this for me is priceless. It's really amazing, and it fits totally with what I do. Like from my title is unconditional love coach. That's why I don't say like just a self-love expert, because the Akashic Records tied with the unconditional self-love and also with the idea that we have soul connections with others, that we are not only eternally connected, we have a bond of unconditional love with other beings that help us grow.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all interconnected. Absolutely. Yeah. And the Akashic Records, I mean, so many also perceive the records or they're framed as a modality, and they're really not. The Akashic Records are an aspect of you. And as you said, an aspect of you, which your being is interconnected with the Akasha and consciousness as a whole.
Yeah, the Akashic records are a difficult concept to understand from a this dimension where we live, from a human perspective, because we cannot understand how there is a field of information where we are all one, no, in this ether. But the Akashic records are within you, in your DNA, but they are around you and they are everywhere at the same time. Then,
Yes.
from this 3D perspective, where we live in linear time, but the Akashic records are uh, like a library of everyone that has ever existed or everything.
Yeah.
Everything is recorded. Everything
Yeah.
is recorded.
Making the paradigm shift to truly understand the difference between linear time, which is the space that we're in on the earthly plane, versus beyond, can truly be life-changing in terms of our ability to lean more into mastery of creation, right? Because we often, even a lot of teachings around manifesting, right? Or just innately as in our human aspect, right? Because we're living in that linear kind of space and time in our human bodies, we will naturally then try to create and manifest in linear time.
Yeah, now I work a lot with past life regression. I did a training in past life regression before connecting with the Akashic records. And I kind of track a lot of clients that want to know information about their past lives. And more and more, I see how the Akashic records are explaining people that this idea of the past lives are not really past, like are part of the journey of your soul. And people
Mhm.
get so concerned about the topic, and sometimes the Akashic records say, yeah, this that you are like suffering so much for is 2 minutes in the journey of your soul. Then it's like we see, no, from their perspective, they see us from who we have been since the inception of our soul, who we are right now, and who we can be. But the future also doesn't exist. It's a pattern of possibilities. Then it's
Yes,
if the Akashic records say, you're going to write a book, but I never sit in the computer and write it. They can say, yeah, the book is there because the potential exists if one day I decide to see it. Or the same, your life is going to be long, and tomorrow I decide to suicide from the 50th floor. Then it's not that they were wrong, it's that I have free will. Then
absolutely.
from my
Yes.
free will, I can repair and go from parallel life to parallel life, let's say, and and learn all of this. But all of this is connected with who you are at a soul level.
Mhm.
Like there are many of you playing in different movies.
Well, even at a soul level, right? There's your soul and then there's your oversoul. There's what we're feeling guided to, let's say our purpose or whatever our higher calling is in this current incarnation at a soul level. But even that is a fragment of the greater aspect of who we are as a being.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see what happens because Seems that we have a like a better understanding of all of these things when we pass, no? When we are in the on the other side, what is called the other side. But only people that have near-death experiences or they have a higher level of consciousness that they are able to really be in connection with the divine really get that. But for us, no, the poor mortals that we are here, we tend to imagine this, but I don't think that our imagination is big enough to really connect with these ideas. As we were mentioning before, maybe we get it intellectually and
Yeah.
it makes sense, but things are shifting so fast. I mean, the conversations that we had 10 years ago are not the conversations that we are having right now. Now,
Hmm.
there are a lot of things that are accepted. And these ideas that we are talking about are something that people may talk on the subway. In the past, this was a secret. Only in certain areas, like certain people have these meetings
Yeah.
talking about weird things, but now it's open. It's in the field.
Which is an exciting time to live in.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. I feel like we're in really transformational times. It's really interesting, everything that's going on and how everything is unfolding.
Oh,
I love, huh?
I have so much fun every day.
Yes, yes. I'd love for you to share with us um, what inspired you to this path? And when I ask that question, it's like, because I feel that healers, that anyone is on a journey where they've answered their calling, right? I feel like even answering that calling to pave that path is a big step, right? But it's the first step, and really I feel like it's even more about the journey of sustaining that or staying grounded and devoted to that, right? And I feel like when you choose that, there is definitely some kind of knowing within you, right? That you're being called to service and that you really want to answer that call.
Yeah, I think it's different for everyone. Now looking backwards, I see that the universe had a plan, even though I was not aware of it.
Hmm.
There is a sort of a preparation. For example, now I'm a speaker, a real one, and I live in the United States. But I remember that very young in my life, I had visions seeing myself in a stage. There was nothing that connect me with that idea. I was doing something totally different. My career started in advertising and PR and marketing. I
Hmm.
had my own company later on. I'm an entrepreneur in Spain. And if you ask me 20 years ago, or tell me, like, Judy, do you want to move to the United States and become a coach and a trainer and a speaker? I would say, Jennifer, are you crazy? Like, I live in Spain. Well, here I am.
Yeah.
Never say no because you don't know exactly what is going to happen. And my path was really trying to resolve my own issues, as I mentioned, no, very, very young. I deal with depression, then with thyroid problems, and nothing was really working in my life the way I wanted. I was feeling very unfulfilled. And from outside, it seemed the perfect life, but I didn't know what was the problem. And I don't connect with therapy, like sitting and talking about this. Then I'm very good at self-coaching, self-exploration, and going deeper than all the things that you read in my bio and many more that are not listed. Where like the way I try to understand myself and my life and go deeper. Then I'm also an astrologer and I do karmic astrology as well. The concept of soulmate changed my life, and I read any book. The dreams really was my awakening through the world of dreams. I started dreaming with a person that was important for me, and through this soul connection, I had to keep doing research and research, and I understood these soul connections and karmic relationships and soul families and all of this in a moment where yeah, in Spain there was not so much information about it, and I did this master in psychology because it was based on the teachings of Carl Gustav Jung, that was the father of the analytical psychology and all of this. And and then there was the opportunity, or maybe not the opportunity, the universe sent me to New York to meet my soulmate. I divorced my husband, and 3 years after, I made the decision to go to New York. It was just an adventure. I thought like, yeah, 1 year and a half, I do my certification on coaching and then we'll see. Well, I have been here for 15 years now, four in New York and the rest in Miami. And I'm very happy. And from a coach, I become a past life regression therapist and then I a happiness trainer. And then the Akashic Records came into my life and transformed everything. And I consider myself an ambassador of love. The last thing that the universe kind of download, like, okay, now I have to do this, was an organization called Love, Love, and Love that aims to spread love around the world and give people ideas, no? The same conversation we had at the beginning, no? What is love and how you can really connect with love and all the different dimensions of love, no? Forgiveness, how to express it, how to receive it, what are the blocks that we all have.
Mhm.
Then this organization exists, and I mean it's alive, and it's something that I really feel connected to. Totally different from my business, but again, it's amazing when you allow the universe to guide you, or God, or spirit, or whatever word you want to use, how things just happen in your life and you don't have to work hard or harder for those things. They just fall in your lap and you have to say yes. You cannot stop yourself from saying, okay, I'll do it. Sometimes we resist a little bit. Yeah, I'll do it, but I'm busy now. I'll do it. And then the universe say, you'll do it now.
What else are you feeling intuitively guided to share in this now moment?
Because of my personal moment, I have been reflecting on this lately, no? It's very easy to love yourself when everything is going well in your life.
Mhm.
But how you love yourself in these moments of big uncertainty, where nothing is working. There is no area of your life where you can say, okay, I'm at peace here, no? Then finances are affected, your job is affected, your health is affected, the world is chaotic around you. Uh, then what do you do in those moments? It's really when you need to be your own pillar of light. It's when you need to be there for yourself. And it's where you need all the trust that you
That's
can gather. It's when you really have to look behind and say, okay, thank you, because I know that no matter what, everything is going to be okay.
that's so true. Such sage advice. So,
Yeah,
so true.
because then we panic. In the moments of difficulties and challenges, we panic and we forget, like, we throw the self love through the window.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then we start doing things that are not good for us, or we kind of go towards any substance that can help us cope with the reality, or
Hmm.
we abandon ourselves in another way, or we just disconnect from life and stop living because we are so afraid or frustrated or paralyzed or stuck. Then my invitation here is know that love is the more powerful force that exists in the universe, that if you cultivate it in the times where everything is peaceful, you will have access to it in the times where challenges arise. Then loving yourself is not only for good days, is especially important for the complicated days. Then be there for yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't compare yourself with others because you are here for a different reason. I'm sure that your the path of your soul is totally different than others.
Hmm.
And don't live by the rules of society. Understand what matters for you, what are your core values, and live in alignment. It's very important for us. Like what we think is what we say, is what we do.
Absolutely. Judith, for those listening who are feeling guided to connect more deeply with you, where is the best place for them to go?
The best place is my website, judithmcosta.com, because there you will find there's a contact form that there is
Mhm.
my email and phone number there, all the links to social media. There is all the classes, workshops, retreats, and private sessions. But if you have anything, there's also a free digital resources. It's called library. But if there is anything I can do for you, just let me know. I like to be in touch with people and to help, to inspire. That's the reason why we do this kind of interviews, because it's a pleasure to talk to you, Jennifer, but it's a bigger pleasure to know that someone will listen to this
Yeah.
in the future and say, okay, I needed to hear these words today.
Yeah, it's timeless. Yes. That's one of the reasons why I love having this podcast. I mean, I love having this platform. Yeah, it's such a great way to reach people, whether it's now or later down the road. So, Judith, what an honor and just a treat to be able to connect with you and have you on today. And thank you so much for just all that you do, and thank you for all of the wisdom that you shared today. And you're truly a gift. Thank you.
No, thank you. I'm so grateful that you open the doors of your this home podcast, no? Who you are, and so nice talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to Path of the Awakened Heart. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or pathoftheawakenedheart.com so you never miss an episode. To learn more about living with an awakened heart and navigating your ascension journey, visit me at jenniferspore.com.